KLMNOPQRSTOV, and we just forgot the rest of the alphabet. Oh shit, I don't have the camera on. That's why I forgot the rest of the alphabet. Ladies and gerbils, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us. And tell people who can be here.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. XWYZ. You have to be 21 and over to be here.
Oh,
If
that's
not, you
right.
have to get out. Back to you,
Dang it.
Fumi.
I'll have to stop saying the word xenon. I should probably log into Fumidoro so we could actually do stupid polls like we sometimes enjoy doing. Ladies and geraniums, thank you very much for joining us on this high noon. If you guys are new to the show, if you guys are not new to the show, welcome, of course. If you guys are new to the show, welcome as well. If you guys didn't know what the show is all about, we're here basically for just a little bit over an hour, usually about an hour, a little bit over an hour, to catch up with friends, catch up with colleagues, catch up with new ideas or new projects that we're working on. Long story short, take a break from the day, basically, check the condition that your condition is in, and goof off for a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to relax and enjoy your life a little bit from time to time. Always good to smoke a joint, always good to smoke a bowl, always good to have a dab with friends. So, folks, make sure to load up and enjoy something. I have a little bit of, surprisingly, a little bit of probably lemon tree from yesterday. Tiny, tiny little bit, but you know what? It's ground up, so I'm going to roll it up. And certainly looks like lemon tree without smelling it. So,
Nice.
yeah, yes, it's lemon tree. Ladies and gerbils, in a little bit here, I have just a little bit left of each strain that North Star sent me, so maybe we'll have one of those. Cheers, finding keepers. First in the chat there, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Folks, make sure to switch to live chat for a little bit better chatting experience. Where did I put those papers? Here they are in my pocket. Fuck was I trying to say? Oh, so the show, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a little bit fancier version than I've said before, because I want people to stop coming in no shoes, no shirt, no service, right? Or but we'll put it that way. We'll say no shirt, no shoes, no service from now on. But ladies and gentlemen, imagine a cannabis cafe slash pub where you need to wear a shirt, you need to wear fucking shoes, don't fart in public, stuff like that. If you need to fart, excuse yourself to the fucking restroom, or at least, God forbid, go to the other room where everyone's trying to prank fucking Fred. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, imagine, like I said, an international cannabis cafe, cannabis pub, where you're all welcome. You guys are all welcome to stop by and join us and goof off with us and talk. We would love for you to share your ideas with us, to share what projects that you're working on. I think there's a tremendous value in not only cultural interchange, but also intellectual interchange. A lot of the best developments in human ideas have been when people literally just met from areas overseas, you know what I mean? So, folks, we get people from Canada already. We're basically already at an international show. We get folks from, you name it, the place. What, yesterday we had folks from Europe. We had folks from uh,
Here.
well, one of the last shows we had somebody from Asia. We had anyway. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, we get people from all over the place, and you are welcome as well. We'd love to hear from you in the chat. Please do say hello if you're a private person, of course. As little as a hello is always welcome, and of course, it doesn't hurt to say hello, right? We don't have any idea who you guys are if you just say hello, but we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear more about what your ideas are, what you're working on, stuff like that. Feel free to interact in the chat. We have a very friendly bunch in the chat. We really basically never have any problems. So honestly, I'm going to stop even mentioning that, don't be an asshole. Yeah, we fucking don't have any problems. We don't have any problems because of a zero tolerance policy for problems. So just keep that in mind, basically. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, the show is for adults only. Please remember, we don't fuck around here. We're not selling weed on the show, so please don't pretend that we are. There's been plenty of people who've reported me for selling weed on the show. It's honestly farcical. It'd be great. I'd make so much money if I did, but ladies and gentlemen, there's no way to do that on this show. Ladies and gerbils, the show is for educational and entertainment purposes only, just like Dee said. I almost said porpoises, but those guys are probably in the water right now, probably not watching this show. Ladies and gentlemen, other than that, I guess I'll hand it off to Dee here in just a second. But first off, I'll mention my website is back. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, please do go visit fumidoro.com. I would wholeheartedly recommend Sour Morgana, of course. If you want something super heady, try try the memory loss cut or memory loss cross that I did with the Coot Special. That's Oblivion. Folks have really reported excellent results with that. And for a limited time only, no, oh my God, how limited? Well, a couple weeks or something. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a twofer. Just because I'm cheap as fuck, I didn't want to pay my website service extra to like upgrade the website service because fuck that shit very much. I pay enough already. So there's no dedicated twofer coupon. You're just going to use the existing coupon code BRAINS. How do you pronounce that, D?
Ah,
There we go. Just in
brains.
case you guys were curious, voice to text, that kind of stuff. Hey Siri, use the coupon code BRAINS, please. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you'll save yourself 10% off, so a little bit of bonus there. Always a listener discount on that one. And also in the comment box, basically, because you can comment any motherfucking thing, I guess you want to, I suppose. People oftentimes say hello or whatever the fuck, right?
Oh, thank you.
But ladies and gentlemen, in the comment box, please say the word twofer and then tell me what you want, basically, because otherwise I'll just send you whatever the fuck you ordered and 10% off and boom, Bob's your uncle. But if you use the word twofer in the coupon code or in the comment box rather and tell me what strains you would like, I'll be happy to send them to you. And that goes for any of the seeds on the website, ladies and gentlemen. Not for the t-shirts and stuff, by the way, not for the merch and so on and so forth, because I already don't make anything basically on those. I made a couple bucks each. But anything seed related, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to get that twofer on. So, with that said, D, go for it, buddy. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, panel?
I
All
just put away
viewing
this shit.
chat. I hope everyone's having a great day, staying medicated, staying safe. Thanks for checking in with the safety meeting. Cheers, everybody in chat. Hope everyone's having a great day. I think I just said that. That. I'm smoking on
I heard an echo,
24
echo,
hour
echo.
stuff. Gary Payton. I got some Oreo mint. I got some Pink Kush. I've got some cereal milk. The cereal milk I'm really enjoying actually. And I also got some Gary. Well, I said Gary Payton's, but yeah, like Gary Payton's pretty darn good too.
It
Cheers,
occurs to me you
everybody.
have almost exclusively cookies crosses. How funny is that?
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
They seem
And
to
I got
really
some
be taking over the entire industry that way. It's fascinating. You wouldn't assume that Canadian people would be so
great.
uh, into the cookie stuff.
Yeah, I love cookie strains.
Hmm.
Really good. What the hell is this? Well, that's nighttime. Yeah, and I got nighttime, but we won't be getting into that till like tonight.
Oh, it's literally called nighttime?
Well, no, it's oh fuck, I always forget the name of it. It's damn it. Wait, hold
It's
on,
a
I'm gonna have
tiny
to
little
look.
joint.
I hate that. No, I can't read it.
But you know what? It's like bonus weed. How fun is
It's
it to
like
find
black
some
on
weed in
black.
your tray and just get to
Wait,
cracking? Don't have to roll anything up, nothing.
what the
It's a baby little joint though. I haven't rolled joints this small for a long time. When I first started seriously smoking weed, I'd get so ripped on
oh,
a joint like this. I wouldn't even smoke like half of it. I'd get blitzed
yeah.
off my fucking face. I remember one time I bought Chernobyl at a dispensary and never tried it before. And I kind of didn't like the name, right? Because I was like, oh, fuck, that's terrible. Chernobyl, fuck, nuclear disaster. Da, 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 da. But the guy was like, oh, no, you got to try it, dude. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. So I try it. I think it was mislabeled because it was very uh, uh, limey or lemony. It's been a long time. I don't remember, but I remember it wasn't what he said it was supposed to be. It wasn't what orangey, I guess. Anyway, it's been a while since I've smoked Chernobyl, which is ironic because I have Chernobyl. But anyway,
Mm.
fuck am I trying to say? Oh my God, I got so fucking ripped. I literally smoked like half the joint. I think it was even smaller than this, and I smoked half
Nice.
of it and had to put it away because it was like, it was in my basement, just kind of fucking walking around. Funny.
I've
Now
had
I could
that
smoke
happen
like
to
half a pound of Chernobyl probably. What's that, D?
I've had that happen to me once before. Not I don't think it was Chernobyl. I wasn't sure. We weren't sure what it was. Wish I did, but me and my buddy for some reason we went down to the baseball diamond by our house and there's bleachers. So we just went down there to smoke. And we ended up smoking half the joint. We were just so messed up, like so medicated and high. We
Hmm.
put it out. We're like, okay. And then we were like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then
That's funny.
after we felt coming down off it, we lit the smoke the rest of the joint and we were just as high.
Oh, that's funny
That
too.
amount per hour, like four
Yeah.
hour.
Gosh, I wish I could get back to that level of high. Sometimes when I smoke with friends or something, they get fucking ripped, and I'm just so jealous. Like even after the tolerance break that I took last year, and I've been meaning to take another one. I thought maybe I'll just like if I run out of weed, maybe I'll just take a tolerance break for a couple of weeks or something, which I really don't want to do. But I mean, it's better than buying weed. I hate buying fucking weed. But even after that, what was it like 6 weeks, 6 full weeks basically? I came back and the weed tasted different and everything else. And I did definitely get a lot higher, but I didn't get that like fucking ripped high that I used to get. It's such a shame. I mean, obviously, probably a good thing because you can't really function when you're just fucking ripped. But it would be fun to get just absolutely blasted every once in a while. Yeah, I can't get that high from anything, from dabs, nothing really. Even I can get pretty freaking wobbly off of really high dose edibles, but it's a different kind of wobbly, right? It's like you basically have to kind of crash on the couch. Like, and I'm talking like literally like 1,000 milligram brownie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get wobbly after a 500 milligram brownie for sure. I'll definitely get sleepy and stuff. But if I want to get like freaking blitzed, it needs to be like 1,000 milligram brownie. And then,
Oh,
man, I
okay.
can't really function. I can't walk around and stuff, but I can definitely, oh, this show was fun. You're watching blank TV or something. What is the chat here saying? Can you pin my post with your website? Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Ladies and gerbils, please do hop on. We would love to. Why is that in a different place? Oh, there it is. Pin message. We would love to chat with you, my friends. We're not here for a super long time. 420 is coming up here in just a second. If the show doesn't take off in a little bit, then honestly, Dee and I probably have better things to do. By the way, good news on the grow light. I mentioned yesterday on last night's show.
Oh,
Oh, for anyone who doesn't tune in, because inexplicably, some of you guys are not subscribed to this channel that are the other, and vice versa. Anyway, cheers, by the way, Iseni. Cheers, Justin Bean and Jones and to grow. Uh, so long story short, I got a puppy about 10 days ago or so. I can't remember exactly, but not that long ago. And he's actually just laying down right here. He normally doesn't like it in here, honestly, when I'm talking on the microphone or the Zoom or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but he usually tries to avoid it. But anyway, he's hanging here.
it is your
And
dog.
he's basically what, yeah, he's still just over 4 months old. He's basically 4 months and like 10 days now. But I got him about 4 months old. And it's kind of funny to visualize because he's literally basically just like a 4-year-old kid. He's got the mentality of a 4-year-old kid. He runs around like a 4-year-old kid. Like, have you ever seen, you know, God damn it. Have you ever seen little kids basically at the park or something? And there's like a playground not too far away. And so it's kind of funny. We were walking by the playground. He's kind of scared of all the noise. And I was like, oh, dude, you're just literally looking at kids like your same age. The kids were a little bit older than he was. They were like probably 5 or 6, probably because they were going to like grade school or kindergarten, I
Mm-hmm.
think. They're skipping around and jumping and just kind of goofing off. And he does exactly the same thing. He finds all kinds of random shit to play with. I always have to watch him because like literally when I was just in the
Yeah.
shower, he had what 10 minutes to himself, and basically he was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And he got my sweatshirt that I put on the bed, was playing with that, and da da da. Da. Anyway, so long story short, I've had to watch him pretty much the entire time, and house train him and all this kind of stuff, and so I. Basically abandoned the garden. I didn't abandon the garden, obviously, because I've still been watering and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't been
Cheers,
defoliating or
everybody.
any of that kind of stuff. Cheers, folks. Happy 420. Actually, that was 420 just then. That's kind of funny. It was 20 seconds after. Anyway, so what I noticed is basically in terms of veg over in the garage, kind of trying to prep some plants for the summer. And how do I put this? You don't always notice a difference in growth over a couple of days or something, right? Especially if you're doing defoliation, if you're moving plants around, all that kind of stuff. But if you kind of abandon them for a
Oh
week to
yeah.
10 days or something, gosh, you can really notice a big difference. And sure enough, I go into the garage last night, basically. What, last night or no, yesterday? Yesterday in the middle of the day. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly. I go in the garage in the middle of the day and or even in the morning, basically, to go check on the garage and walk in and I notice, holy fucking shit. Basically, these two lights, there's two CMHs. One, the canopy is way down here, and one, the canopy is way the fuck up here. And one, it's super lush and happy and vibrant and ready to go. Honestly, overgrown. I need to go in there and defoliate the fuck out of it and maybe even top stuff and so on and so forth. And the other side, honestly kind of looks like garbage. The garage was super cold all winter and everything, so I've just been kind of in stasis basically. So that side of it, well, not all of them look like garbage, but a couple of the plants basically look like not as good as the ones on the right. So I'm like, oh, wouldn't you know it? I've been suspecting that the light on the left needed a replacement bulb. Well, sure enough, that's fucking a very good evidence, basically. When you have that much canopy growth, you have this gigantic, basically, that bulb is making heat, essentially. It's all waste heat and just a little bit of light, basically. So it looks visually like the same amount of light. When you stand under it, it still seems the same because it's producing a bunch of heat, but it's just basically wasting all that energy in terms of heat. It's no longer efficient at all. So I go into the grocery store and I'm basically, no, first I call my old grocery store that I used to go to all the time because I figured they almost always have the best prices. So I figured I would basically call them. And, they've been pretty good to me over the years. So I figured I would just still be loyal to them. So I call them up. They can't get CMHs to save their life, basically. They tell me, so I'm just reiterating the story that I told you yesterday. Hopefully, this is not a repeat for everybody. Cheers, Pip Jam. They're basically telling me, yeah, no, we can't order them from Hawthorne because I was like, oh, so what about Hawthorne? They bought like all these fucking LED
Hmm.
companies, Gavita and everything else. And the guy's telling me, no, Gavita is still producing those bulbs, but you can only really get them because of their warranty, and they're only producing them because of warranty claims. So in other words, people who bought their light fixtures, I don't know, 5 years ago, however long the warranty was, they have to honor it essentially, or they feel that the cost would be too high. So they're making the fucking bulbs and then basically providing them to warranty claims. Other than that, that gigantic, like, I can't remember, people were rumoring it was like $200 million that Hawthorne paid for fucking Gavita. Da, 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 da. Nope, they're basically defunct on the whole fucking, what is it called? Not HPS. Fuck do you call high yield lights, the hot lights? Jesus H Christ. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. So long story short, we're kind of going through options. He's like, yeah, I literally can order a couple of the shitty lights. Basically, he's like, yeah, I can order this. Not even grower's choice, like grow whatever the fuck. I don't even remember what it was called. He was like, but I really don't recommend it. He was like, the failure rate on these is very high. And then he was like, oh yeah, Nanolux. I fucking can't stand Nanolux. And blah, 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 whatever. Long story short, the only ones that he could even order, and it would take a couple weeks to get them, are these garbage fucking CMH bulbs. So he's like basically defunct. And he's like, man, there's this huge push for LED lights. So I'm like, okay, thank you, thank you. So I go to this local place. Actually, first I call them. They're like, yeah, yeah, we still have some CMH bulbs. And so I go in there, and sure enough, he's telling me, yeah, no, we can't order them anymore. And he was like, yeah, we don't even deal with Hawthorne anymore. We can't get distribution through Hawthorne at all. They only deal with gigantic companies basically now, like GrowGen. And I was like, but wait, GrowGen is going out of business. He's like, yes, exactly. So basically, Hawthorne is only dealing with these gigantic companies that are all fucking going out of business because nobody fucking goes to their stores. It's like, what bizarro world are we in? I don't know. It must be a fucking gigantic fraud play or something. I don't even know. Or maybe fucking Elon or Elmo is writing it all off on his taxes or something. It makes no fucking sense. Long story short, basically, he has a little bit of backstock on CMH bulbs, and once they're gone, they're gone. He's like, I can't get any more of these. So he was like, you're kind of in luck because you're one of the only customers that like you and one other guy basically care about CMHs. Other than that, basically, like maybe I'll sell them on eBay or something. I'm just like, I'm fucking
Oh
laughing.
shit!
And I'm
How
looking at
much?
all these bulbs. He actually had the Philips still. He had the Hortilux. I've actually wanted to get those Hortilux now for probably 6 years or something. Maybe I'll never actually get them because I mean, like in the end, they're essentially like a fucking dinosaur product, basically. But for I was wrong. It wasn't even 250. For $225, you can buy a no name, but still a perfectly good. I don't remember exactly what standard it's waterproof to, but it's basically you can apparently spray it. It's basically it's the same fucking LED fixtures that you find anywhere now. They normally cost like I don't know 350 or 375 or something, but the state of Oregon has Energy Trust basically, and
That's
I've used Energy Trust rebates before. A lot of times when you
nice.
get like a LED light bulbs and shit like that. They'll send you a little tax rebate or they'll give you a break on your new dishwasher or stuff like that, right? But and I'd heard that they were doing big rebates for commercial grows, but that locked out all the medical growers, home growers, and all that kind of stuff, right? Which was annoying. Well, apparently they're actually including pretty much everybody now. So evidently, if you go and get an LED, you get like between 150 and $200 off. So long story short, the fucking light was
Two.
$225. So instead of spending, I was planning to spend $180 on two
Yeah.
Philips bulbs, which I could have bought. Honestly, I could have bought the 200 two Philips bulbs for 225. I got an LED that has a 5 year warranty apparently, and guys been apparently running it for years in their warehouses and home grows and stuff and have no problems. I'm like, all right, fuck it, looks fine. The only problem is when I got home, it had a 220 plug. Evidently, they forgot to give me the adapter. So Bud was right. Uh, he didn't know if it was the ballast, but anyway, long story short, the adapter works just fine and it doesn't overheat. I asked him, I was like, oh, in the past, when you go to Europe or something, and if someone brought an iron, for example, the cord would overheat basically. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the adapters were just how does the expression go? They weren't modulating the current. They were just tamping it down. I don't remember how it's expressed. But anyway, long story short, the cord would get super hot, and if you used it long enough, which wasn't that long by the way, it was like maybe 45 minutes for an hour for like an iron, it would. And I can't think of the name for it, but it's like fatigue basically. There's an actual word for this, but the copper wire would actually fatigue, and it could start a fucking fire basically. And I was like, oh, does
That's
that
no
happen? He's like,
bueno.
no, no, we haven't had any problems like that. Like. No, no worries. So maybe it is the ballast, honestly. But yeah,
That's
it's
no
interesting.
bueno.
It's interesting. Like CMH is an absolutely defunct technology at this point. Fascinating.
Can you hear me?
Your mic is
No.
quiet, but yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. It's the headphone jack one,
All
or
right on.
my headphone mic. Oh well.
Folks, hop on, join the conversation.
Yeah.
I guess we'll post the link or something because otherwise you guys fucking won't hop on here. Please join us, ladies and gerbils. Yes, I did just take a shower before the show, so my hair is dripping. But ladies and gentlemen, please do hop on here and join the conversation. Uh, it's got to be bizarre to you guys. It's bizarre to me that CMHs now all of a sudden are fucking defunct. Like that shit's
Mm-hmm.
weird as hell. Um,
It's all
you
about
know,
LEDs now.
pardon?
It's all about LEDs now, I
Mhm.
guess.
And I don't envy the companies that are in that LED space because it looks like it is beyond cutthroat. Because now, granted, all the tariffs on well, honestly, what locally made
Oh,
LED lights are there anymore? I guess there's a couple companies. I think HLG still makes theirs locally. I don't think that I'm not 100% sure that the company that uh, Flora always boosts, what are they called up in Washington? Oh, I can't think of their name. I can visualize their logo, but I can't think of their name. Anyway, I think they might have gone out of business. Anyway, long story short, there is Apache, I guess. They might make their stuff locally, but they all the LEDs come from fucking Korea, so all those prices are going to go up. But anyway, the Chinese lights, evidently, quite a few of them are quite serviceable and cheap as shitballs. Like 250, well, okay, it's 350 without the rebate, but I mean like for 225 for a fucking light? That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. I can't comprehend it. By
that's
the way, for
crazy.
740 watts, it's not some dinky little fucking 200 watt light. It used to be you'd have to spend. In fact, not too long ago, I bought a. Now I regret buying that veg light. I should have just gone to the grocery store. I bought a veg light basically for uh, 200 watts. I think I got it on sale for 100 bucks, 125 bucks or something. And it was kind of a piece of shit, honestly. I got it at Lowe's. I was just kind of curious. I was like, oh, I'm curious what kind of quality they have here. It's not the best light. It doesn't have a dimmer and stuff like
Um,
that. It's definitely lower quality diodes because the diodes themselves get a little bit hotter, stuff like that. It works fine. Plants like it just fine, but it's definitely not as nice of a fucking light as I could have gotten. Hey, cheers, skunks. Good to see you, buddy. Chilled LED. That's the one right there. Are they still in business or not? I feel like I heard they were going out of business. The owner has or had health problems.
um, just a quick programming note. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Orangey's gonna be giving a speech on the upcoming tariffs.
Yeah, right now he's talking about yeah, I think Chilled is gone. He's talking about doing 20% blanket tariffs on everybody, which is just I don't know. It's like there's no point in talking about this kind of stuff, and at the same time, there's
Yeah.
every point in talking about it, you know? It's just like we're being run by a mad, idiot, vicious king, you know? Like fucking the nightmare scenario from Game of Thrones. I was talking about this yesterday. Tyrion said, "Oh, we've been ruled by vicious kings before, and we've been ruled by idiot kings before, but we've never, or rarely, I don't remember how he said it, been ruled by a vicious idiot king before." And now we get to all experience that. Uh,
Mhm.
Evidently, Trump is tired of Elmo because the news today was that he's basically going to push Elmo out. Maybe they've mutually agreed it, but honestly, Trump never mutually agrees on anything. Oh, I don't know how this country picked that guy, but it's money and
Mm.
politics, I guess. Every time I say that, I realize that I know the answer. It's money and politics. Thanks to the Citizens United decision, people like Elmo can spend. He spent $100 million on a state Supreme Court election yesterday. And he lost. Actually, the
Mm.
Democrats got their candidate elected, which is going to affect the Wisconsin Republican gerrymandering efforts. People don't realize that the state of Wisconsin is actually fairly split down the middle. It's about 50-50, but Republicans have gerrymandered it over the last 10 to 12 years. I don't remember exactly how long, because they took over the state houses. And in fact, Wisconsin was a little bit more Democratic. It was like 52 to 48, something like that, but it was basically always 50-50, right around 50-50 for a long time now. Anyway, the Republicans got control and gerrymandered the ever-loving fuck out of everything, basically, including Milwaukee, all these different places. And you'd see the districts, like they'd be these fucking just classic gerrymanders, but there's a little sliver around here, and there's a little sliver around there, just literally getting house by house by house fucking districts. And so 75% of the elected candidates in the state houses were Republicans as a result of that gerrymandering. So evidently that was one of the biggest issues at play yesterday. I have to be honest, I'm not super familiar with that election. But anyway, fucking Elmo lost, but he spent the better portion of $100 million on a state Supreme Court. These are people that most people don't know their names. Like when you elect state Supreme Court justices in Oregon, a lot of times they run unopposed. And when they run, a lot of times they just have a fairly simple, even when there is a couple different candidates, they're usually nonpartisan. I don't remember if they're always nonpartisan. Anyway, long story short, uh, yeah, it's you're voting for a judge. You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be some fucking blood sport. But yeah, well, thanks to Citizens United, fucking Elmo can come along and spend. I don't know if it was all of the 100 million because I know he had people that were fighting against him, but apparently spent. I can't even remember. Yeah, he gave like several, once again, he gave out several $1 million to,
Oh boy, oh
and it was
boy.
rigged, by the way. They were all Republican fucking operatives, but it was $1 million for voting for whoever the fuck. Christ. Folks, hop on here. Getting desperate now. We've been here for pretty close to a half hour now. If we don't get anybody on here in the next maybe 10 minutes or
Let's
so,
go.
D and I will probably bounce for the day.
Off the clean,
What's that, D?
off the litter box is for me.
Nice.
Yay.
It's one of the nice things about dogs. No litter boxes.
Yeah.
Martial artist says, CMH has always interested me, never ran one, but I wanted to hang a bulb low on a light mover and run it between four LEDs. I feel you, but here's the thing. Investing in CMHs at this point seems like a fucking dying thing. You know, like you literally can't get the bulbs anymore. It's stunning to say. Where are you going to get the fucking bulbs? You're going to have to get them on eBay, you know? Like it actually it infuriates me. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do because I have this light that I really like, basically one of the CMHs. The one that I just replaced, I've never liked, honestly. It's a Nanolux. I don't know why I don't shit on their brand more. It's a garbage light. It was always garbage, but it works. So I was like, fuck it, I'll plug it in. But it was always a super trash light. It has you have to grow so carefully, like in a tent environment. It's trash basically. I could never use it in my basement because it's really meant to be hung up on a ceiling with a bunch of other lights. But they marketed it as a regular light to everybody. Basically, that's when I fucking bought it. And I paid full price for the fucking thing years ago. Anyway, it's like I said, it's got this mountain hot spot right in the middle, so you have to basically keep it several feet off the canopy just so that it won't have that crazy fucking Mount Everest basically right in the middle. Anyway, the light right next to it is a oh here comes North Star. The light right next to it is a Sun Systems.
Yeah.
Actually, they call it LEC, their patented version or trademark version of CMH, and it's one of those broad hoods with the two end-to-end bulbs, basically. Instead of downward facing, they're end-to-end.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Oh my fucking God. That thing grows, it grows such good cannabis. Cheers, North Star. Good to see you. I was just talking about, I
Yeah,
don't know if
North
you heard me
Star.
talk about it or have heard me, well, you certainly didn't hear me yesterday. I was having trouble yesterday finding CMH bulbs. I thought it was just going to be as simple as driving to the store. Evidently, basically, nobody sells them anymore. Nobody can get them anymore.
Huh.
Even the companies that made them have stopped making them. And now, essentially, all you can really get is LEDs anymore. The bonus to that is that many states are actually offering incentives even to freaking growers to the point that I bought a 740 watt LED yesterday for 225 fucking dollars. I basically
Nice.
spent like $45 more than I was going to spend on two CMH bulbs. So what a weird scenario, isn't that?
Yeah, I mean, I know they used to actually have some of them in Home Depot actually, but they were like, they weren't made for growing. They were more
Hmm.
for like street light style lights, pretty much. So I wouldn't. They're
That was
probably
more of
already
the
switching over
single
to
endeds.
LED
I
as
don't know
well.
if I've ever, that was the single endeds. I don't know if I've ever, because I've seen the single endeds at Home Depot for sure, but I don't know that I've ever seen the CMHs at all or double endeds.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, the dude was
Yeah.
Everything's
telling me,
going. As a matter of fact, just 3 days ago, my daughter's new car, her tail light, her brake light went out. So I'm like, oh, I'll get another brake light for you. Well, I went on Amazon. It was like I had a choice of buying like 12 packs of bulbs
huh?
that they weren't guaranteed would fit. Well, they had a guaranteed fit, but all the ones that guaranteed would fit were LED bulbs. And I had
Oh
these
yeah,
funky like LED cob bulbs for the
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
And so it was like I buy two bulbs, which I only need one, but I'll replace both at the same time. I don't need to buy
Mm-hmm.
a dozen of them. So I
Right.
didn't have a choice to buy like one bulb to replace the one bulb or anything. So it was like I buy a whole bunch that might not work, or I buy two that will work. I just can't buy one. But yeah, they
That's
basically
crazy.
everything's going to LED for light wise.
Well,
I don't mind a lot of it because I mean they work good, they last long. But some things like for my house, I have a couple of sensor lights, motion sensor lights. You can't replace the bulbs. If it goes bad, the whole light fixture has to go out in the trash. I have to replace the whole fixture now.
mm,
That's, I mean, it's just inconvenient, pretty much more than anything. Instead of just go ahead and pop a new bulb in, I got to tear a whole light out and rewire another light back up there. It turns a 5 minute job into a 45-minute job. It's just
mm-hmm.
Here, I had a stupid poll here.
More like a pool.
Uh,
some nice Harvest Moon haze. I'm gonna puff down.
nice. Oh, I had some of that, although I think I just ran out of that. That was lovely. I got seeds of that from you, and really love the phenotypes that I got out of it.
Nice.
What are we going to do for this last option here?
Your mama?
Go. All right.
A 50 hat
Silly
package.
poll for your mama likes polls, so there we go. We thought we'd give her one. Ladies and gentlemen, vote on bulbous. Options are: I love the bulbous. Fat bulbous bulbs make the world. It was supposed to be make the world go round, but I didn't have enough space. LED for me, poles for your mama, and I grow with candles, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, very, very serious questions there. I honestly can't believe it. Like, I'm wearing a General Hydroponics shirt that I got years ago, and I was always embarrassed to wear it because fucking Hawthorne came along and bought everything up, right? Anyway, but it's a cool shirt, right? It's a cool California Bear shirt. Uh, it fascinates me basically that Hawthorne came along and bought all these fucking companies up. Sun Systems, so that light that I was just talking about that I have in the garage, made what was by many people considered some of the best. Speaking of CMH, they called it LEC. What do they call it? Yeah, light emitting ceramic, I want to say, but they also called it plasma. It's not actually plasma. I suppose technically in the bulb there is a plasma that's created basically, but it's not an actual plasma light. Those are different, right? But anyway, they called it plasma. just to fucking marketing wank. But Sun Systems, Bud's talked about that. The light companies, a lot of them became their own distributors, right? And Sun Systems basically was one of the biggest distributors. Well, they got bought up by Hawthorne because they were the biggest distributor and had also the best lights and everything else. And from what I understand, Hawthorne came along and gave them an offer they couldn't refuse. And it was fuck you money, but it was also we'll destroy you if you don't accept the offer. I don't know if that's true because I wasn't there, but that was the rumor that I've heard. Well, all these years later, Sun Systems and all of its intellectual property and everything else is effectively defunct, including their distribution network, all of it. Because I was just talking to the grocery store that's local to me yesterday. And by the way, the big grocery store that I used to shop at essentially said something similar. They probably still have a relationship with Hawthorne because they deal with a lot of big, warehouses and everything else. But the smaller store that I go to, they don't really work at the warehouses and stuff. They're more, just average people, right? And apparently Hawthorne won't even fucking touch them. Basically, they won't even fucking touch them. And it's just all of this is so absolutely hyper fucked that it just makes you really scratch your fucking head. It's like, who is providing stuff for all these fucking growers out there? And the answer is really nobody. It's just this incredible chicken and egg scenario, like, what the fuck is this going? What's going on here? I don't
I
understand.
think that's part of that's part of the main plan here. You got to make it not really great to grow, make it less
Huh.
accessible to grow indoor easy, so that you just go to the store and you buy more.
Hmm. You might be right, honestly. And then the
Well,
other
I mean,
part that,
I don't see how else they can have a business where they charge so much for their product, but it's really, if you have the slightest bit of skill, it's not that hard to do at your house yourself.
100%, yeah.
So if you really care, you can beat their product for half the price every day of the
And
fucking week.
honestly, easier than tomatoes because tomatoes you can only, I mean, I suppose you can
Oh,
grow
yeah.
tomatoes indoors, but most people only ever grow it in the summertime, right? So the rest of the year they either don't eat tomatoes or they eat shitty store-bought tomatoes. But weed, you can literally with a small grow light, you don't have to have a fucking 700-watt grow light. For a couple 100-watt grow light in your closet, you can always have weed if you're a light smoker. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It's crazy.
Look at
I
Miranda
think this
Family
is a big,
Farm
that's a big
Well,
barrier
Miranda
to
has a
them
big
right
garden.
there.
Was that North
That's,
every
that's,
day.
that's a big barrier to the big companies. You know, it's not like you're brewing beer. It takes a little more skill and it takes a longer time
Oh,
for it to brew and come in and everything. It's you're hands on looking at your pot growing every day. You can make
Very
adjustments.
therapeutic. Yeah.
Uh, it's just I don't see what their game plan is. Let's try to get rid of the home grower, or at least make it so the home grower is disenfranchised to a point where it's like this ain't worth all the hassle
Hmm.
because everything's so expensive, or it's just easier to go to the shop. I mean, some people are like that for sure, but a lot of people, once you really like cannabis, you like watching it grow, a lot of the evolution of it, the
Yeah.
little watching nuances change. It's all fun. It's all added bonus on the growing your pot. So it's hard for them to talk people out of growing, but they have to figure out a way to do it. Otherwise, I mean, how can they keep charging what they charge? And they're trickling down with the
Yeah.
taxes, and the little guy actually growing the bud at some point. If you're any more independent farmers, they're going to be growing it for free
Yeah.
at the point where they're trying to get to with everything. So
No, and it's
people
you got to
comical.
give somewhere.
We've talk about this many times. Bud Kill he hasn't shown up yet, but Bud Kilowatt brings this up all the time. Not even to mention, he always talks about how it's so ridiculous that they sell weed in eighths and everything else for an experienced smoker. For a regular smoker, an eighth isn't even that much weed, right? But think about it in terms of the gram price. Like the top shelf for a gram is still $15 to $18. Bro, a
Yeah,
joint is 15 to 18 fucking dollars, or maybe 2, 3 bong loads. An eighth top shelf in California. It's actually a little bit more expensive than it is in Oregon, believe it or not. I think because your guys is a little bit higher taxes. Although honestly, I also have a medical card here. Anyway, regardless, it's still more expensive, I think, in California. But the eighth price here is not much less. An eighth of top shelf here is still 40, 45 fucking dollars. Sometimes you'll see it for maybe a little bit less, $35, but it's usually not as good weed. You know what I mean? Who the fuck pays $45 for 3 joints when you
well,
could
exactly.
grow it
Like you said,
yourself, literally
for like
in a
a
fucking
$2 joint.
closet?
I mean, I don't go to a bar and go, let me get a beer or a mixed drink and pay $15-$20 for it. Not to mention, when you do that, you're also getting the environment. You're sitting there drinking it and enjoying it there, probably with friends and having a good time. Dispensary is more like, all right, now get the fuck out of here.
That's
Get
the
the product, now
difference. Yeah.
leave. So you're not even sitting there and enjoying
Yeah.
with other people. You're spending $15 and you're in your car heading back home by yourself to go smoke it. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, if that, for that kind of
Uh,
money, I want more. I want experience for that kind of money I'm spending.
That's the thing. I was going to say these days, honestly, a beer anywhere in Oregon fucking costs $8 to maybe even $10 a beer. It's crazy how much the prices have gone up just in a few years.
Oh yeah,
And a cocktail be anywhere from 15 to more than $20. Sometimes it'll be more than $20, which is
Oh,
madness when you think about it. It's crazy, crazy, crazy markup on alcoholic drinks. Whatever, that's the what it costs, but you go for the experience, you know what I mean? You go
yes.
for that kick-ass bar. There's this one bar that I can think of up in, actually it's in Vancouver. Oh my fucking God, it's got these cool red lights over it, all fucking guitars and shit on the wall. What a cool place, honestly. It would cost me a fortune to have a room in my house that looked like that, right? So no amount of, free beer, if someone gave me free beer, I would still not have that experience. So you go to a place like that for that experience. But you
Yeah.
don't have that at a dispensary. I don't remember the last time I was like, "Oh fuck, this is a cool dispensary." You know what I mean? Like most of the time, it's just a fucking cement floor and whatever. A couple some plants and shit, some posters on the wall. Like they don't take a huge amount of effort. Every once in a while, they go balls out. Like Oregon spent probably a few $1 million on their frickin'. It's like their flagship store. Blah blah blah. But even then, they have cement floors. I mean, it's supposed to be
Yeah,
cement floors, but still,
it's
it's like
funny.
not super complex. Go ahead.
Just talking about it a couple days ago, and I actually dig even more so when I think of the dispensary when it felt like you're going to your buddy's garage. It had like
Yeah,
a table set up and you had the jars, they pull them out.
yeah,
I mean, I felt more connected to the actual grower.
yeah,
Like the person brought in
yeah.
a bag of bud and they just threw it into a jar and showed it to you.
Yeah. Or the
Now
kind
it's
of
after you walk
medical
into this
lounge
fancy store,
environment.
it's all
Yeah.
done up, it's got everything's all packaged and
Yeah.
all, it's like I'm walking into a Safeway buying something off the shelf as opposed to
Because you kind of are, you're basically,
yeah,
that's essentially what we are. We're basically walking into the back of the safe where we're walking into the Rite Aid. And if the feds get their will, it really will be that way because they're going to try to fucking reschedule it to Schedule 3 or something. So
yeah.
basically, you'll be walking into a goddamn fucking Rite Aid or a CVS or something that just happens to sell weed. They try to make it less antiseptic because most of the people they mean well, right? They're weed people and everything else. But the rules are such that the shit's got to be
so
prepackaged and da 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 da. It's got to be this crazy experience. What's that, D?
so apparently here in Canada they have like certain pharmacies that already have their license to sell cannabis to people, like Shoppers Drug Mart, stuff like that, as well as oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. There's something else that have their license now. Oh, Circle K gas stations. Apparently there's Circle K gas stations around the area that have little cannabis things set up in their store
No
at the
kidding.
gas station now.
Huh.
Crazy. And alcohol now. By the way, we can buy alcohol in our some of our gas
I've
stations like you
seen,
guys now.
where have I seen this? Because I'm trying to think of how you would get this license, but I've seen alcohol vending machines. They must be
Mhm.
inside. I don't
Yeah,
remember the last time I've seen one, but I
yeah.
definitely have seen them before. So I'm like, huh, I wonder if you could have cannabis vending machines. I guess it would have to be in a bar that someone checked your ID, probably.
Yeah.
So no, so they do have them here in Canada. These
Smoke some
headphones.
Sugar
I
Jack
hear
from North
myself.
Star.
There we go.
Yes.
They do have these vending machines here in Canada, and a lot of them are at the sporting events games
Hmm.
arenas. So, but the only problem I think is how
Gosh, how
does the
fun would
vending
that be to smoke a
machine?
joint at a fucking soccer game or a baseball game or something? Go ahead, D. Sorry.
That's okay. The only thing I have a problem with is how does the vending machine know when you've had too much to drink?
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Like you actually enter your ID. Like they'll ask you put your ID in and everything to make sure you're over the legal age, but they don't know if you're drunk. But you have to
Any
start blowing.
European listeners will be like, "What the fuck does that matter?" Well, in North America, basically, you're not supposed. It's kind of comical, honestly. You're not supposed to overserve somebody. You're not supposed to serve someone to the point of drunkenness. Basically, in fact, you're supposed to cut them
Yeah.
off long before drunkenness. And of course, every bartender functions differently on that level. And some bartenders never get busted, but some you can get busted. Like for example, in Oregon, if you get busted over serving somebody, it's a pretty significant fine. It's I don't remember, $8 or $10,000. Honestly, it's not a small thing, candidly, and that's on a bartender's wage, which is not millions of dollars, right? So bartenders are pretty careful about not over serving people, which is completely the opposite in, for example, Germany. Though. keep serving you until
Very
you're
true.
fucking drunk off your fucking tits. They don't care. They're like, well, but that's the point of alcohol, right? You want to get drunk, right? It's kind of weird that in America you're not actually allowed to get drunk at a bar. A lot of European tourists are like, wait, but what's the point of going to a bar? It's that kind of Puritan background. Really like this Sugar Jack North Star. This is probably the last time that I'm going to have a chance to smoke it, unless I save just the last little bit of it. Really like it's got lemon, pine, and a little bit of that kind of NorCal poop. You know, that little kind of, I don't know, baby diaper or whatever the fuck. It's funny
Going in
that
there, yeah.
almost everything you sent me basically had, I want to say the cell didn't have that kind of baby poop to it, but almost everything else, like the Vortex kind of baby poop a little bit. Really comical. And yeah, just a lot of that. Very balanced lemon, pine. Maybe definitely some fruit, maybe like a little bit of mango or something. Really yummy. So good stuff. Folks, tell us what your cheers, Can of Fam Dynamics. That's a blast from the past. Good to see you. Folks, tell
Wow.
us what you're smoking in the chat. Let us know what you're puffing on or about to puff on or whatever else. And do hop on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a little bit left in the show. We have maybe about a half hour left in the show. I might be able to reserve a little bit of this for another joint.
So
We're in luck. We're going to save this for a little joint for next time. What's that, E?
no, I fucked up. Everything else.
What's going on with you, Can of Fam Dynamics? How's the have you had a chance to start growing yet, or what's the good word there, buddy? Can of Fam Dynamics is over on the East Coast for the most part, but he lived in Oregon for a little while. That's where I met him. And he used to go to my tasting meetings. Some of you folks probably remember him. I think Dee remembers him, but not everybody, of course, knows him. He won Flavor of the Night several times at my meetings. I probably haven't talked about that enough, but I used to always do Flavor of the Night, and it was always by people's choice, essentially. So no cheating, no judges, no, oh, the secret judges decided that this one is actually the best. No, the genuinely best weed by popular acclaim every night would win it. And several times he won it. One time with I want to say either the jet fuel or um, no, the jet fuel was a different cut. That was something else. He won it with this crazy gassy cut he got from Archive. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, long story short, he won several times, and then got second place that one time to Stevie's blueberry sativa that I was talking about. That 2-year-old blueberry sativa. Everyone was absolutely blown away. Like, what? 2-year-old weed is the best of the weed of the night? It was legit the best weed of the night. It was, how do I put this? Sometimes we say it was like, a lot of times, oh, it has notes of fucking almonds or whatever, right? Like barely detectable in your psychological profile in the back of your head. Maybe you imagine almonds. And then sometimes you get a mouthful of fucking almond, basically, or in this case, blueberry, just rich. Basically, it is as if you were smoking sweet blueberry jam. Basically, that's how it tasted. It's not like I didn't detect hints of blueberry. It was as if I was literally rolled up, like I literally rolled up some blueberry jam in a piece of paper, and somehow it caught on fire and I smoked it. That's how it tasted. It was so fucking spectacular. Absolutely. And I think about it to this day. I'm like, 2-year-old weed. I mean, I shouldn't be so surprised because I have aged weed over time before, and I got some good results with it, some bad results. Some things I've learned age a lot better than others. Um, Kind of light citrusy stuff ages well. Heavy citrus doesn't seem to age well, for example. Anyway, but I never did it as rigorously, I think, as Stevie did. Anyway,
What do you think something like that would be worth paying for then? I mean, it's a 2-year
an aged
cure.
weed, and it,
Yeah, I mean, a $100 eighth kind of deal or what?
I mean, that weed was fucking spectacular. The thing is, there really isn't a market for that kind of product right now. We don't really have, yeah, we just don't have that scene. There are people that appreciate it, like everyone in the meeting. There was a lot of people at the meeting. I want to say, I don't know, CanFan probably remembers. There was probably 50, 60 people there, and we were all blown the fuck away by it. And I'm sure after that, people started paying attention more to aged weed, right? But when you go to a dispensary, that doesn't exist. Like they barely
Yeah.
age this, they barely cure the stuff well enough in the first place. You know what I mean? Half the time it's fucking too dry, half the time it's this, that, or the other thing, right? I don't know, and I don't know how that whole thing will come about. I think I always default to this, and I think that's the reality of it. I think it's going to default, the entire kind of connoisseur weed culture is just going to default to home growers. I think the
Exactly.
only people that have the time, the incentive, the effort, the energy, all of it, like even the interest in that kind of thing, I think it's going to end up being home growers. Because it's not to say that the people that grow in facilities and stuff are not weed nerds. I'm sure a bunch of them would love to do this, but they'll have no incentive. They'll basically put away, how much weed would you have to put away to actually successfully age? It would have to be a couple of pounds. I mean, I suppose you could do a few ounces here and there, but honestly, if you're going to sell it in the end, you'd have to have a couple pounds to make it fucking worth it. Uh, Probably 5 or 10 pounds. So you basically just put away a couple trays basically of weed that you didn't sell, and you're now going to age it for a couple of years in a very risky procedure that might go wrong, right? One of your employees might open the jar and leave it open or some fucking thing,
Yeah.
right? So, like at the end of those 2 years, you might have a complete garbage product. And in the meantime, 2 years ago, you could have had money for that, right? So, none of the fucking facilities that anybody is going to get weed from is going to do this. So, it's another one of these kind of chicken and egg scenarios. It's something that a lot of people are going to know that is valuable, but nobody, unless they just have money burning a hole in their pocket, is going to do this commercially.
Yeah.
It's going to default to, do you agree? It's just going to be home
So
growers.
I totally 100%. I think 99% of all the people that are really truly connoisseurs, we're all going to grow their own bud.
Hmm.
Very few people that consider themselves a connoisseur of cannabis and not grow it, and they go out and they're willing just to find people and spend top dollar for everything all the time. And at that point, Miles, you could pay somebody to grow bud for you. Jesus,
Hmm.
if you can afford all that, you might as well just find somebody that grows really, really good bud. Like, here, dude, here's 10 grand a year. Just keep me
Hmm.
supply with a fucking ounce every other week or something when I
Yep.
stop by.
Hmm. It reminds me a little bit. Canafam probably knows who I'm talking about. There was a guy at the old cannabis club who was a regular, who was pretty well off. I don't remember what he did for a living, but if I had to guess, doctor, lawyer, something like that, and total weed nerd, blah blah blah. Loved, loved, loved to smoke weed. Pretty much dabbed all the time. He almost never smoked flower that I remember, and he always had crazy heady glass. I guess I don't want to say too much more, but Canafam probably already knows who I'm talking about. Anyway, the dude. Always smoked. He was kind of like one of those heady boys in California, basically. He was not the same generation. Dude's probably 50 now. I don't know, maybe 55 or something. But anyway, he was absolutely like what you would call a heady boy. He was always getting the freshest flavors, always the newest drops, blah blah blah. And he always had minimum 4 or 5 flavors of whatever the fuck he just got. So like every single day, every couple days, he was buying not only crazy glass, but well, I suppose crazy glass is relative. Some people are spending 25, 30,000 a day. He wasn't doing that, but he was regularly buying couple $3,000 bongs all the time, or rigs rather. And every couple days, new two, three, $400 on hash here, hash there. So like when you said that, I was like, you're 100% right. I don't think this guy would do that, because I think his kind of style of life is he wants to go out and just be a heady boy, but he could literally pay a grower to grow all the best shit for him and extract it for the money that he's paying. You know what I mean? Like $250 a day or $200 a day adds up quick. You know what I mean? Like you could literally
Oh
pay a
yeah,
grower for that. Get a
for
medical
sure.
card and just have a designated grower grow your fucking 6 favorite flavors or whatever the shit. I don't even know. Kind of funny to think about. Yeah, I don't know. It's this weird bottleneck in our culture. There's a lot of wine nerds. There's a lot of beer nerds. There's a lot of home winemakers. There's all kinds of
Oh yeah.
YouTube channels that teach you how to make wine. There's wine distributors, or like winemaking distributors. Um, I don't remember the guy's name, but I don't even know how I subscribed to this guy, but I've had my channel for how many fucking years, my main channel. So I probably subscribed to the guy, I don't know, 10 years ago. And this guy basically just, every once in a while, I post a video. I clicked on one the other day and reminded me that I'm subscribed to the guy. He just basically started making wine at home, and then decided, oh shit, I got to buy this part and this other part. It's easier to buy 100 of them at a time. And so he was like, oh, fine, I'll just start a distribution company. So he basically literally distributes equipment for home winemakers, exclusively home
Oh, cool.
winemakers. Uh, what else? Yeah, there's all these kinds of businesses. There's a brew. I mean, Steinbart's in Portland is this legendary home brew place. They do sell hops and stuff to microbreweries and stuff, but for the most part, microbreweries get their hops, from the commercial market. And so this guy basically, or the family, I think, that still owns it, pretty much deals with microbrewers, or home brewers. But it's like that store is nothing like. any of the grow stores that I've gone to. None of the grow stores that I've ever gone to seem to prioritize home growers. In fact, they seem to, in most cases, deprioritize home growers, right? They almost talk to home growers as if they are kind of second class citizens, right? Sort of assuming that they don't know what they're doing and everything else, right? I've always had these strange experiences at grow shops, even when, especially when I was a very inexperienced grower. I remember having the weirdest experiences where I was like, this guy's not really on the level. He's not giving me good advice, da 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 da. And especially as I got more and more experience, especially because you learn that a lot of the people that work at the grow stores are not experts. They're just maybe some grower that got a job at the grocery store for a discount or whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes they know what they're doing, sometimes they don't know what they're doing, and you have to really figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, it's a big facade. They're trying to keep that look that's too hard for people to grow. They're trying to keep that up there, so they don't want to mess with you.
Oh my God, it's so hard to grow.
A lot of people that dabbled in growing in the year, maybe places where it wasn't legal to grow, or it was shady, so they grew like in a more hidden, excluded area outside in their yard. Maybe it probably wasn't a prime location to get good light and so forth. So yeah, they grow some straggly looking plants. They go online and see these grow facilities that have these thick, chunky, crystally buds. Like, oh my God, I can't grow nothing like real stuff. I can't grow real bud like the commercial growers do. So they keep perpetuating the same bullshit. No, you're just not doing it quite right where you're at is all. You need to get yourself a little light indoor somewhere or a nice sunny spot and work on your own location. Don't worry about it. I think a lot of it's just exactly try to make you emulate whatever the commercial grow is, whether it be from the strains they're growing to the newts they're using, whatever they're advertising. It's all one big, huge conglomerate advertising everything to the people from social media and everything else and trying to make their money off of it. If you're truly a home grower, I mean, you have a spot in your yard that grows really good. You get good sun. You grow a good pot there. You recycle your soil. Maybe you pollinate that one little branch and you make more seeds for the following year. You have your own stock. You really don't need the grow store for a lot of stuff. You might stop in once or twice a year for a thing or two. But if you try to take their method of growing, like the commercial size, then you'll be there all the time buying more stuff.
And with respect to all of our, Bud Kilowatt doesn't like when I call it synthetic growing, but to all of our bottle nutrient people, all of our soluble salts, basically grower friends, I think, excuse me, I think a lot of grow stores, because it's in their interest, when you walk in as a new grower and you're like just kind of grow curious, I guess you could say, you walk in, you're like, oh, I'd like to start growing. They'll load you up, even as an outdoor grower, they'll load you up with a fucking 2-part formula with several micros and this and that, and the other thing. And I feel like it sets you up for failure. I think a lot of people think that synthetic growing is so easy, but I think that even though it is easy in principle, all growing really in principle is easy. It's people have been doing it for thousands of fucking years, right? Illiterate people on and on are able to do it. It's not really that complex, right? Still, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And when you start bottle feeding stuff, gosh, there's a lot of things that can go wrong real quick.
The very first grow I ever did back in New Jersey, got this little like grow box thing. It was I had a little like a homemade kind of hydro kind of setup in it. Had that set up, went to the grocery store. I was like, I'm growing. It was New Jersey. It was literally, I'm growing hydroponic tomatoes. What do I need? Well, you walk out of the store with 3-part formula, and other enzymes, and this mix, and then I get a flush mix. I got a
don't forget the pH meter. You got to get the pH
meter
for
walking out with like
$100.
$300 and freaking stuff. I'm like, I could just bought the goddamn ounce, a couple of ounces for cheaper than this.
100%. And that's how a lot of hobbyists fail.
There's a big, huge schedule of when to feed everything, and it gets all, you overfeed something, pH is off, and you need to run back to the store because you need help because you fuck something else up. They tell you to buy this instead now, and then buy this to fix this problem. It's almost like going to the fucking doctor and they're giving you pharmaceuticals to fix your issues, and they just.
It's a typical problem that I guess you could honestly, if you kind of dial it back, you could kind of attribute it to consumerism, when you think about it, because I think a lot of hobbies are exactly the same. It oftentimes annoys me, and I'm subscribed to a lot of photography YouTubers and stuff, and gosh, there's so little of that content that's actually interesting and viewable, and I'll try to scroll through it on my subscription feed and stuff, but I don't even know, like literally a couple days ago, one of the photographer guys that I follow posted another one of these videos because they always get millions of fucking hits, this particular topic. I'm about to drop photography, but listen to this first. It's basically depressed frustrated photography hobbyists that almost exclusively, the story always goes, they've spent a fortune on their fucking camera and lenses and the gear and the bag because Peter McKinnon told them to buy this gear and that gear and the other gear, and they all bought it from Peter McKinnon, so he made a lot of money from them. And they've got this camera and this other camera and fucking some filters and and before you know it, as a hobbyist, they spent fucking $3,000 or $4,000, and they still haven't taken a couple of pictures. And when they do take a couple of pictures, they're fucking horrible garbage because when the first time you do something is always trash, right? It takes a while to get good at anything, right? And this is this very typical frustration pathway, basically. The photo stores, in many cases, set these people up to fail by selling them this stuff, although there's not really photo stores anymore. But it used to be that you'd walk into a photo store and they'd fucking happily put as much stuff as your credit card will bear, on the countertop. Whereas, for example, I realized that when I was a kid, I had the luxury of using cheap, shitty cameras, sometimes disposable cameras, and I just developed this joy for taking pictures of stuff, right? And then it was this big dream of mine to finally save up one day and to buy my own SLR bag, film SLR camera. It was not that great of a camera, but it was a Canon. I still have it to this day, actually. It's up on the shelf, actually, right over here. Still works, by the way. Still fucking works. Still takes pictures just fine, because Canons are always so fucking reliable. But anyway, gosh, I was so happy because I could switch out lenses. I could control the functions and everything. Because in the past, I just had point and shoots for the most part. But that gave me the luxury of just falling in love with photography, not spending tons of money on photography and then trying to also love the hobby as well. You know what I mean? Because the collecting of tools and stuff is kind of its own hobby that people don't
Oh, yeah.
realize unless they think about it. And if they were to switch their mentality, then a lot of times people do just collect camera and stuff. And it kind of annoys me when people do that, but whatever, it's to each their own. There's plenty more annoying things in the world. But it's like people get set up for failure and frustration by this entire consumerist perspective of, and I've done it myself too. I'm not immune to this by any means, loading up all the shit that you think you're going to need for your fucking hobby. You know what I mean? So you walk into a grow store, for example, or you go online or whatever. Oh, what do I need to grow? And the advice is, oh, you got to have this 15-part nutrient formula and a fucking pH pen and this and that, and a fucking pork pie hat, on and on and on. And it's hundreds of dollars and all this stuff on your head that you got to keep track of and blah, 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 blah. Whereas you could get a pot of a fucking bag of dirt and some, organic, some down to earth fucking organic top dress and just let it go. Just water it and you'd be fine. But no one would make any fucking money off you, right? Like what's a bag of soil? The most expensive bag of soil is 20 fucking dollars maybe, right? So there's no repeat customers on a bag of soil. So yeah, they got to sell
Yeah,
you fucking this part and that part of the nutrient regimen. Yeah, it's pretty infuriating. Uh,
for sure.
I don't know. I don't know how to solve this issue other than because, how do I put this? A lot of the people that have developed the wisdom to understand what we're talking about, they're nodding their heads in agreement, right? We're
Mhm.
preaching to the choir, but you kind of have to go through some of these failures, and you're disagreeing. You kind of have to go through some of these failures to realize that all of this stuff is so pointless, you know?
I think at the same part, you have people that collect, like you say, collect cameras and collect gear. I think you have people that just like collecting different nutrient.
Sure.
Try something different. You try something different this time,
That's
something
true
better,
too.
something new,
That's true
nonstop,
too.
just always experimenting with stuff. So you have that same people too. So
And I guess I should get over the fact, I feel like that's, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, but that's dumb. Why is it dumb? You know what I mean? Like, what do I care? What do I care if you're fucking around
yeah,
with fucking nutrients and da da da? Like I said, there's plenty of worse things in life than messing around with goddamn nutrient bottles, right? So that's true, 100%. I've gotten into, well, I've always been into watches, but I've gotten into watching mainly this one channel, this dude, Wristwatch Revival. He basically just sits there and fixes wristwatches. Anyway, I have a bunch of pocket, not a bunch, but I got a half a dozen pocket watches for my dad, and most of them are not really running, and I've wanted to get them fixed, but it's, first of all, very difficult. Actually, that's another thing. There's millions of pocket watches out there, but hardly anyone that can fix them. It's a really bizarre bottleneck. So, for example, in Portland, there's literally only a couple people that work on pocket watches, and you have to really give a shit about that pocket watch because it's $300-400 for them to fucking service the thing. So anyway, I'm watching this guy talk about it, and I've always wanted maybe to do it myself because I thought, well, they don't work anyway, like I can just fucking fix
what's the
them
worst you can
myself.
do?
Yeah, 100%. What's the worst I could do to a broken fucking watch? It's gonna tell time 3 times a day or some shit. I don't even know. But anyway, so this guy, he always talks about he's basically a hobbyist. He's got a channel. It's I don't even know, probably 1 million subscribers or something. So it's not much of a hobby, or it's a very lucrative hobby. We'll put it that way. But it's still apparently his hobby. I don't know what he does for work, but he always says that it's his hobby, and he always talks about how his favorite part of the watchmaking, it's called, really is the hobby, is the tools basically. So he has all these cool tools that he's got. They're all from Switzerland and whatever the fuck, and some of them are handmade by some. He was talking about one handmade by some dude in his garage in Germany or whatever. So you know what? There are people that probably don't give a shit about the tools and they're only there for the watches. And there are some I can appreciate that. I can appreciate like a really good tool. You know what I mean? I
I
love
love
like good
tools.
woodworking tools and stuff. Yeah, 100%.
I have a collection. I have a
Yeah,
fucking shitload of tools. Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah. Like, as a matter of fact, it's about 20 years ago, maybe. My great uncle, actually, God bless his wife, just passed away 2 days ago. My great aunt.
Oh man.
But anyway, my uncle Bob, this character, has had a wooden leg since he's been 14.
Huh.
So he's in a wheelchair now, but he'd be walking around with a wooden leg. He was a cowboy lost in an ice cave up in Wyoming and so
Wow.
forth. But he one leg worked for the USDA inspecting produce and stuff.
Oh, that's fascinating.
At this point here, 20 years ago, he was already, elderly gentleman, but he had a whole entire workshop full of stuff. He's like, well, me and the wife were getting out of here. So me and my dad went to visit him. And he's like, so I'm keeping a few things here, but the rest is all this shit can go. $1,500. If you can get it out of here, you can take it. So my dad had an 8-foot bed in the back of his truck. So we loaded his truck up with everything we get in the fucking truck, in the back seat, everything. And
What was it? Tools, wood, what?
It's just all tools.
Huh.
I got like a mortise and tenon freaking press just for doing mortise and tenons.
That's
a drill press that cuts them out square. Air compressors.
Yeah.
I mean, just shitload. I have big ass bar clamps, like 5 foot
those
long.
are expensive.
I've got like 15 up or so of them, a couple different sizes. I mean, just
That's
endless
cool.
supply of grinders and drills, extra just miscellaneous shit. Some of it older, it's kind of cool. Some of it a little more newer. Some of it's cheap stuff. Just a huge mix of all kinds of tools. Easily like several $1,000s in
That's
tools.
awesome. Huh. I was so annoyed in my garage. I don't have the electricity basically to put a table saw on. So I was like, oh fuck, it'd be great. I have plenty of space to put a table saw. But no
As a matter of fact, today I just got home from the store from picking up lumber for a job I'm doing. I just got a new portable thing for my chop saw, a little lightweight aluminum tubular, big wheels, wheel it up and pop it up real quick.
Right
portable stand. I have an older one that I got from my uncle, but it's a square steel tubed one. Thing itself weighs like 35 pounds. Right. It's so inconvenient to bring to a job site. But at my house, it's big and sturdy. It has extensions. I have about a 6-foot extension on each side of it, so I can hold sizable lumber on it and stuff. So it's at home is fine, but hauling in and out of my truck and stuff, it just sucks. I finally broke down and got something that's a lot lighter. But yeah, I mean, tools are great. You can do so much. You have the right tool, do the job properly. It just makes a world of difference.
Reminds me of all the times that I've seen
my whole house with the siding, hardy board siding, and you cut that with a pair of these like pneumatic shears. It looks like a drill, but it's got these big shear ends on it. Ching, 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 cuts through it, so it doesn't produce all the dust, because the dust is, you have to wear a mask and headgear. It's nasty ass shit. It's concrete,
it's
fiber
cement, yeah.
So you use that, and it cuts down a lot of the dust. Use that for all your just basic straight cuts. You still have to use stuff to get into little, cut around things and stuff. But without the tool, I mean, it's just such a pain in the ass doing it the other way. So
funny now that you mentioned that, because years ago when we did the siding on our house, they put hardy plank up and they just used chop saws, and I remember seeing all that fucking dust, and I remember thinking like, gosh, that can't be good for these people. But yeah, a lot of construction crews, they don't give a fucking shit. Funny thing is that in the US, okay, that's arguable, because actually in some countries overseas, you have to wear a helmet at every job site and stuff. They really don't take safety. They take safety quite seriously in some places, but in some countries they don't give a fucking shit. I remember it was in Poland, and nobody wore ear protection no matter what. I mean, it could be a fucking bomb going on next to them, and it was like a macho thing. Even though they actually had ear protection on the job, but nobody would wear it. It was like a macho thing.
I worked on a construction crew and a framing crew like 25 years ago, doing all kinds of real high-end construction in Jersey, all along the beach and coast. And I haven't done anything until recently. In the past 6 months or so, I've just been doing basically just stuff myself, just contracting locally for stuff. And when I see other jobs, when I go like buy now, I pay more attention to go and buy other job sites and stuff now because I'm back and doing the work again. But the safety measures have been stepped up like 300, 400 fold easy from back when I was doing it back in the day. Back in the day, like Joe Schmo jumps on the crane and has a fucking forklift with a whole bunch of plywood to the third floor. He's sitting, we're up there off the side of the building yanking. And then nowadays, it's like that dude's only job is to drive the forklift. He's certified for the forklift. I'm up on the roof. I'm strapped in with a cord on my back or something, anchored so I don't fall off the goddamn roof. I mean, back then it was just like a free for all. Do whatever. Like, they're up there on scaffolding and ice on it and shit. Now none of that shit flies. Everything's got to be safety first for everything. As a matter of fact, even the Home Depot today, they're all. I mean, the guy's like, I can't put the lift up to get your thing until the aisle's clear and it's all out. I'm like, I can almost reach it. I'm not that heavy.
You remind me of a crazy story. When I was a kid, my parents were like, whatever. When my mom got married to my stepfather, he had been building this house already, and so they just continued remodeling it, whatever. Kind of a stupid story, honestly. But one of the carpenters, not the main carpenter, yeah, one of the assistant carpenters fell off the roof. And it was like a fourth floor roof, basically. He fell off, and there was a big thing. We weren't sure if he was his ribs were broken or like, you know, it was a serious thing. He actually got like ambulanced off. He was lucky beyond lucky. He just bruised everything. I think he bruised basically every bone in his fucking body. He was back at work maybe 2 weeks later and just fine. But he literally fell off the fucking roof because he wasn't attached to anything. I remember as a kid thinking like, what the fuck is this? He's just because it was windy. Sure enough, the reason he fell off is it was windy, and he literally just blew him off the roof. And somehow he landed in such a way not to kill himself or break every single bone in his body. Yeah.
I heard a story. I've heard a story where this roofing guy, or he does antennas, used to do the old antennas, and the guy had this ladder that wouldn't reach to the roof, so he put it on a picnic table first, and then laid it on the roof. Anyways, roof went down and everything, or the ladder went down, and so did he. He ended up being paraplegic from that. I guess he hit his head, went head first into the ground.
Yeah,
People don't realize how easy it is to have a spine injury. You don't have to have it right at the top of your neck. You can have it anywhere along your spine, and you'll lose function all down your body as a result of that, you know? And that's really from just falling on your back in some way. You don't even have to fall on your back to do it. But yeah, Jesus H. Christ. Well, we actually made it through a halfway decent show, ladies and gentlemen. We got maybe about 5 minutes to go before the 420. We'll probably bounce then. Always good to see North Star. I'm excited to grow with that new LED light. And I was saying, I guess I didn't finish that thought. It makes me wonder just how cutthroat the LED scene is now, because this is actually idiotic. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, Apache LED. I know that I don't remember exactly how much their lights are, but I do remember they're on the very high side of prices. I think they're made in the US, but I won't swear to that. There's a couple other lights that I think are made in the US, but they're all over $1,000 basically for 700 watt, 800 watt fixture. And then yesterday I bought, it looks perfectly good. Like it looks like a perfectly good fixture. It's IP rated, everything, so I can spray around it. It's got the folding arms and everything else. It's got a dimmer. It doesn't have a stepless dimmer, which is annoying. It's basically got, I don't remember what the numbers are, but 10, 20, 25, whatever. That's the dimmer basically. So I'd rather have a stepless dimmer, but for $225 fucking dollars, without the rebates, it's like $350 apparently. Or I don't remember exactly what the price was, but that's ludicrous, right? How could you sell $1,000 light if there's a perfectly good competitor that's fucking $200, right? Like, and I don't think that ever existed, that amount of cutthroatness in the whole HPS field. Like, there were always the cheapo LED or cheapo double-endeds and stuff, but you still had to pay $300-400 for one of the cheapo no-name fucking double-endeds. Now maybe they're cheaper, but I mean, like, it was still $200, $300, $400, and the Gavitas were only $500. You know what I mean? So it was basically half the price. But now you're talking about, like, I don't remember what's that guy, another YouTuber, Grandmaster Level. His lights were like $1,800, $1,600 and stuff. How are you going to compete with a $250 light or $300 light? That is just cutthroat beyond competition. I don't even understand it. You're muted, Dave, if you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, shit. With the prices of cannabis out there and stuff for people, I mean, if you're even a kind of facility growing it, you'd have to have a huge amount of difference between the two to justify that kind of a price increase if you're out there, you're gonna
100%.
buy like
Yeah.
40 of them or something.
Yep. Yeah. No, imagine that you were literally not just buying one or two or five or 10, but literally 1,000 of them. That would add up quick,
Exactly.
seriously.
Oh my goodness.
So goodness gracious. And there's so many things that you need to save money on. If you could save money on the fixtures, and they've got a 5-year warranty apparently, and on and on and on. Like, bro, I don't even understand it. I mean, it's probably a good thing. I don't know. I guess I haven't really considered it all, but it's probably a good thing because, like we were just talking about home growers. Dude, if you can get a massive light, because you can always turn it down, you can always turn it to 10%, 20%, whatever. You can get this massive light, throw it in a fucking 4x4. That's all the light you will ever need. Like, you don't need 740 watts in a 4x4. But if you had
Cheers,
access to that
everybody.
fucking 740 watts, gosh, you never have to buy weed at a fucking store again. You know what I mean? You could easily grow 2 pounds with that light every single time you grow. Easily. 3 pounds is doable too, 4 pounds even, but that's with real experience. Like, you could easily pull off at least a pound and a half every time you grow, you know? And seriously, if you turn the fucking thing down to just a couple hundred watts, there's hardly any mistakes. Like, that's one of the things we push these plants so hard that it's easier to make mistakes. But if you turn that light down to 300 watts, motherfucker, you'd be smooth sailing the whole time. It'd be so easy. Like, your plants would just be sipping water, they would just be sipping nutrients, they wouldn't have any problems. Anyway, cheers, folks. I almost missed the 420. Happy 420, ladies and gentlemen. With just a
Yeah,
few seconds
yeah.
left to go. Yeah, we did it. Oh, by the way, what are the poll numbers up here?
Mom likes to call.
Question is bulbous, and tied
Mom.
for last place with 11% is I love the bulbous, and fat bulbous bulbs make the world go round. It was supposed to say. Second place is I grow with candles, bro. A lot of people sticking to the tradition. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We were saying yesterday, right? People like the old school stuff. But the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is LED for me, polls for yo mama, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, 20 votes now. In fact, we even got a little bit higher percentage on the LED for me, polls for your mama. Boom. That's the end of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go pick up the adapter for that light, I think, and do some other random shit. Let's say our goodbyes. North Star, good to see you. Go for it.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay.
Yeah, spring is here, people. Bugs are coming out. Shit's getting.
Yeah, man.
It'll be there, D. Don't worry, it's coming. April's here. Springtime. It's time to get outside.
It'll be there before you know it.
And enjoy the weather. Get there. Get the longer days coming now. So
There's what we have right now, North Star.
Oh, man, seriously.
Oh, jeez.
It's literally
We have a
snow.
blizzard, and now we're gonna have
man.
ice storm.
Oh shit. Well, you know what?
Woody.
Spring sucks where you're at this time of year. I'm like 65 and sunny out. I got birds and bugs flying all over the place. It's full on spring, so I'm off doing yard work too.
I got fucking butterflies and
everyone have a good day.
Cheers, North Star.
North Star.
Go for a D in the middle of the fucking snow frozen north.
Sorry to hear that, Dave.
above the wall from reporting from above the wall. Go for
T-shirt
it,
weather.
Yeah, man. This weather hopefully warms up. Apparently, we're supposed to have nice weather coming. So, everyone have a great rest of the week. Stay warm if you're in Canada, and stay cool if you're in a nice warm spot like Captain or California or wherever you're at. Don't forget to tune in this Saturday for the Saturday Takeover Show. Same bat time, same bat channel with the free show on my channel. Before that, stay tuned. Everyone have a great week. Later.
Cheers, D. Good to see you.
Well, thanks, Jimmy, by the way. And cheers, chat.
Very welcome. I forgot the joke that I was going to make, so I guess we'll probably save ourselves the trouble of silly jokes, ladies and gentlemen. But thanks very much for watching the show. Justin Bean says 4 votes for Bulbous. Very important there. Cheers, Digger. He says fire in the bowl. Good to see you, Digger. Western Main Mang is hanging as well. Who else in here? I think I said hello to Brain Dead, but I didn't. Cheers, buddy. He says burglar tools are important. Somewhere there's a burglar who's like, "Oh, I love my tools. I love my crowbar. This is a fine Japanese crowbar. It's like a fucking Damascus steel hand forged Japanese blacksmith crowbar." He's like, "I bought this in Kyoto 25 years ago, handmade for me. I was like, my burglaries were just not as good as they could be. I was like, it takes me 37 seconds to break into a place. I could do it in 32 if I just change the angle of the dangle." Still. Anyway, that's fucking spectacular. Jay Patrick's in the house. Who else hanging with us? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, lurkers, non-lurkers, as we always say. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks, of course, to North Star for joining us. Ladies and gerbils, don't forget, currently running a twofer on my website. Website is back, of course. Thank you very much for waiting for it. Some people, I won't say many, thousands of people, oh my God, where's the fucking website? There wasn't an angry mob, but definitely people did request. So I hope you guys are able to go back to the website. If you guys would like to buy something on there, please use the coupon code BRAINS, BRAINZ. How do you pronounce that, D? You cut out.
Brain.
There you go. Nice. So if you guys need to do voice to text or something for the coupon code, whatever. It's a stupid fucking joke. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, save yourself 10% off. But also, as a result, you can get yourself a twofer. I would have to pay extra on my website service to fucking actually run twofer or threefer or whatever the fuck kind of coupons. I don't want to do that. So basically, you're just going to use the coupon code BRAINS, ladies and gentlemen. And in the comment box, you're going to tell me the word twofer and then tell me whatever the fuck strain you want, basically. If you want, for example, Oblivion, I was talking about earlier, Figment, Surf Grape, whatever, with your purchase of Sour Morgana, for example, or whatever the fuck, ladies and gentlemen, or Dark Lord or something, ladies and gentlemen, you're perfectly able to do that by typing in twofer. There's like a comment box. Every time you basically go through the order, there's a comment box. Some people say hello. Some people tell me they have special address orders. They're like, oh, please put on the order, it's the mailbox behind the mailbox or whatever. I got that one time. It's the mailbox behind the other mailbox. Apparently the postman knows what they're talking about, so that worked out really well because the guy got their fucking seeds, or the guy got his seeds. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in that comment box, if you do have to tell me the mailbox behind the other mailbox, first tell me twofer, and then tell me what other strain you would like. Or, for example, strains. Perhaps you bought a couple of packs of seeds, then you would obviously get 2 seeds or 2 packs of seeds free. So, ladies and gentlemen, easy way to double up your order. Gonna run this for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, something like that. So don't dawdle, ladies and gentlemen. Hurry up and get your orders in, especially for the springtime. I'd be happy to recommend whatever you would enjoy growing. If you'd like to, oh, fuck me, I have still not fixed my email. All right, DM me, ladies and gentlemen, on Discord. Great excuse to join our Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord before, let us know in the comments. Let D know or let me know in the chat. We'd be happy to drop the Discord link to you. You can DM me on Instagram, for example, and I will finally fix my goddamn Proton mail. I just apparently keep forgetting. So you will eventually be able to email me. But if you'd like to know what you should order or whatever, if you don't know, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you don't know exactly what you should order, if you'd like some advice from me, that's probably the better way to put it. If you'd like some advice from me in purchasing seeds, if you, what do you recommend? Da, 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 da. Don't hesitate, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to help people find exactly the right seeds for them. So folks, don't hesitate on that. And otherwise, don't forget to use the coupon code BRAINS. And then, of course, type twofer. Tell me what you want. Boom, boom, boom. That includes the multiple packs. There's 3-pack versions. There was even basically that hardcore version that was like 3 5-packs or something. So it technically counts, I guess. I probably shouldn't make that one count because it's such a pain in the ass to pack 5 packs. That would be like 6 5-packs. That is kind of a pain in the ass. Whatever. Fuck it. I don't even care. Let's just leave it for now. Maybe in the future I won't include that particular option. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging with us, though. Thank you for voting for our stupid polls, of course, because it's always fun to do silly shit like that. And also, thanks very much for watching. Dee, thanks for helping out as well. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, if you had just put in a comment there, it would be a different sentence. J5 says, I'm always watching, weirdo. You could say, I'm always watching, weirdo. Although that actually wouldn't change it. Now that I think about it, wouldn't change it so much. I'm always... No, actually wouldn't change it that much. Never mind. You actually typed it all right. I was like, oh, you could totally... Maybe I'm just too high to make enough jokes with that. All right. Ladies and gerbils, we'll leave it at that because apparently we are too high for our own supply or something. Adios. Thanks for hanging. And be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking...